going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review. I've been gone for about 2 months. I haven't been able to make a lot of posts. I'm making a post that explains why, which is pretty crazy. But for today, I wanted to talk about something a little bit more serious, and that is all the shooting that's been going on. You've got the El Paso shooting, you've got the Dayton shooting. A little bit more recently, you've had shootings in Chicago. You've had a Florida man who got caught who was threatening to shoot up a Walmart because he was inspired by the guy in El Paso. How you get inspired by that, I don't know. I just don't. So right away, the first thing that happens, of course, is there's a bunch of mass hysteria. We got to get rid of guns. Get rid of guns. That's not going to fucking happen no matter how bad we want it to. If in a perfect world we could get rid of all the guns and we could get people to listen to what we were trying to tell them and get criminals to actually obey the law, that's just not going to happen. It's not really realistic. I do believe that we could do something to tighten up gun laws, and I'm all for that. And anybody who's not for that, I think, is just a prick at this point. If you're a law-abiding citizen and you want to get a gun, there's nothing wrong with going through a little bit more red tape to get there. That's how I feel. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe that if somebody wants a gun, I don't really care what kind of gun it is, to be fair. There's a reason that the Second Amendment is there. That's my belief. But yeah, I think we could tighten up gun laws. I really do. It's very easy to get a gun. Second thing, instantly you had a couple of politicians, including the president himself, who we all know is a moron, but whatever, saying that somehow it's related to video games. Look, man, let me solve the video game debate real quick. I could say that I've been playing video games ever since I was a little kid, and I've been playing games like Mortal Kombat and God of War where you're eviscerating your enemies, literally ripping them apart. Literally hundreds of thousands of people across the country playing the same video games, and none of us have shot up anybody. Or I could say that even more people watch horror movies, which quite frankly are even more disturbing at times. And some of these horror movies, they get some pretty sick shit. And you don't see any of those people going out and wanting to shooting up everybody. Media is always going to be there. It doesn't matter if it's in movie format or video game format. There's always going to be something. You can't blame it on the media. You might be able to blame part of it on social media. But I do believe at the end of the day that this is inherently a person problem. This is maybe a mental health issue. I would have to believe that that's the case, but I don't, I can't speak on that intelligently enough. But it goes beyond what we do, what we watch. I think that there is a certain balance of nature and nurture that come into play here. Certain people, I think, are predisposed. They have the mental disassociation. And I'm sure that in times you have a little bit of nurture that comes into play there with a very rough upbringings and, or people that just felt completely neglected or didn't get enough attention or whatever the case may be, which is a sick, sorry excuse. Believe me, I'm not trying to pass this off. I think everybody should be held accountable. But I do think there is a mental health issue that we have to look at with this. You can't just start blaming everything. You can't blame guns. You can't blame video games and movies. Nothing is all encompassing like that. Each individual has to be looked at separately. And unfortunately, that's part of the problem because some of these individuals, you just don't see it. It's in their makeup, but by the time you get there, it's too late. So these are just some thoughts that I had after hearing all these comments from people, from the masses, from the politicians. it sucks, and it's scary to think how much this happens nowadays. And one thing that honestly pisses me off is like people are desensitized, and that's part of the problem. But part of the problem on top of these shooters being desensitized is you have assholes like on Facebook who are making jokes out of literally hundreds of people being killed. And not just in these two cases, obviously that one didn't amount up to hundreds, but trust me, we've lost hundreds of people to mass shootings. And I think that right there alone gets people going. Like people want that notoriety for some reason, and I don't understand it. I can't understand it. But when you have assholes posting memes of a AK-47 in a Walmart and it's like in a video game format, like haha, it's funny. It's not funny. If that was your son or daughter, it wouldn't be funny. So I think the people that do that really need to come back to reality. So this is a little bit of a tangent. Like I wanted to share some thoughts on this, and there you go. That's what I believe about the situation. I wish we had a perfect solution that we could wave our hands and everything magically gets better. Obviously, that's not going to be the case. It's not in dealing with gun laws. That may help, but it goes way deeper than that. It's certainly not in fucking video games. Otherwise, I'd be at the top 10 of the fucking FBI's most wanted list. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm always interested in hearing what people have to say on subjects like this. Try not to argue too much and get disrespectful. I know people are going to have different opinions. Try to respect that. So that's what's going on. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Kaged Nation, out.